welcome to this week's update. Oh, sorry, something just happened on my computer. I hope you're having a fantastic week. It is Friday again. Hi, I have my co-host today, Freya. Yeah, I love you too, Pupper. She's super upset with me because I was just in the back getting ready and not letting her in. She was digging at the door, then decided to cause chaos in the living room because I was not out here. She grabbed the rug again and she found one of my gym shoes and decided to lightly try to take the laces out. At least she wasn't chewing on them, but still, jerk. Yeah, so it's Friday again. I thought in lieu of doing a regular weekly update, because nothing super exciting happened last week, I would do the culture video I was gonna shoot on Tuesday, but totally forgot to because I got busy catching up with girlfriends and it was kind of late by the time I got home. Yeah, just completely slipped my mind that it was Tuesday. Oops. So I'm gonna talk today. Apologies ahead of time. I'm going to be looking over here at the computer because I had to write it all down like usual when I do a cultural video. I thought I would talk this week about going back to school since it's back to school time here in Doha. School's been coming back for I think the past 3 weeks, maybe 4. The schools kind of start at different times depending on what type of curriculum you study here. But I think most people came back this week or the end of last week, for a couple days, the introduction days, and then have their first real week of class this week. So traffic's really busy again. You've got people trying to figure out the everyday school drop-off pickup business, and yeah, all the schools here are filled with back to school stuff still. It's kind of cool to see the interesting school supplies. I guess some of it's generational and some of it's regional. Oh man, I should have taken you around the malls to look because it's really interesting. There's a lot of wheeled backpacks, which I think is generational. And there's a lot, I know when I was a kid, there were, oh, sorry, DH is checking in. Hang on one second. Oh, okay, back. So some of it might be regional. I know when I was a kid, we had trapper keepers, 3-ring notebooks with paper in it and dividers for each subject. But I think here they do little notebooks for each class, which is weird. I don't understand that. But where do they go? Do you turn the whole notebook in? I don't know. What? Yeah, gotcha. Sorry, DH. DH is off for business right now, which actually my next Tuesday video, hopefully if I remember to film, will be another travel video because I am traveling to go see him. So anyways, super scattered. Let me get back to what I was saying. Let's get into the school part. Actually, let me move you guys a little bit, or at least move my computer. Oh, sorry. Let's not get all the pillows in the background. There you go. I have a lot of pillows on my couch. Okay, so this is maybe a little bit less rude. I don't know. Apologies. I know. Fine. You can just see my messy pillows. There, just one pillow. Got 7 pillows on this couch. That is not even remotely straight. Hey. Professionalism. Good thing I only have 5 people that watch these videos, and I'm related to most of them. Okay, so how schools work in Qatar. Blah blah blah. Okay, yeah. Let me preface everything I'm saying I don't have children. All my information's been gathered secondhand through friends that have children here or the internet. I will link the kind of text to my outline and the resources that I use to find this information in the description box below. What was that? I didn't even finish the sentence that I wrote. Sorry, let me edit there real quick. Okay, There's roughly 338 international curriculum schools here in Qatar, all of which fall under the jurisdiction of the Supreme Education Council, SEC, and the Qatar Ministry of Education. There are also privately managed independent schools as well as Qatar International schools. I'm not quite sure what all of that means, but I think suffice it to say there's 338 schools that your kids can go to, which is a lot. Like all of the major global curricula can be found here, including International Baccalaureate, which I think is IBS. I don't know, I keep seeing things talking about the IBS system and like, I don't know, it sounds fancy. British, American, French, Indian, Lebanese, Egyptian, and Jordanian, as well as independent Arabic-focused schools that are operated directly under the SEC. I think it's like a public school in the States, but I'm not 100% sure on that. There are public schools here, and those generally have separate schools for boys and girls, which I have seen like quite a few, and I've seen some that are like different focuses, although I can't really remember off the top of my head what the focuses were. I want to say I saw one that was like math and science, but I'm not real sure. The international schools are usually co-ed. Most schools also teach English as the main language of instruction, including local schools and those that are run by Arabic management. A lot of other schools will also teach Arabic. I think I've heard that some schools require Arabic for Arabic native speakers, as well as like some religious studies, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I couldn't find anything online. That's just something I had heard from a girlfriend. I don't think they all do. I think some of them teach like French and German and Spanish, maybe Spanish. I don't know. I don't really know why you'd need Spanish if you lived here, unless you were in the American school. It'd be super interesting to see what percentage of foreign languages they teach here, because I would be surprised. Like, I mean, I think all schools should maybe have Chinese as an electorate now, or I'm just super interested to see. I couldn't find tons of information, and I unfortunately don't have a massive, like I have a diverse group of friends, but they're only but so diverse. So I don't really know how to ask. Can't just, accost women on the street and that have children and ask them. It's kind of weird. So, strangely, there are no Australian schools here. There are a lot of Australian expats. There's no like Australian school. So they either do the American curriculum. Oh, I know that wasn't listed, but I know there's a Swiss school here. This one, which is supposed to be really good, but I think it's like brand spanking new. Anyways, so Qatar also has an academic bridge program available for secondary school graduates, so they have like a university prep program and a learning center for students with learning disabilities, which is super cool. So I'm guessing the academic bridge program is kind of like a community college, or like prepping you for college, which, I mean, that's what it said, but that's pretty cool. And good for some students. Getting into your school of choice can sometimes be like super hard. Here, there's tons of supply of school, but there's even more demand than that. So if you're going to bring your children here, apply to a bunch of schools up to a year in advance, they said, and keep your options open, because you might not get your first chance. From what I've heard, the schools here overall are pretty darn good. They've got pretty much everything here. Of course, some schools are better than others, like more highly rated than others, as is everywhere. But I think overall, it's not that bad. I mean, I know a bunch of people that have kids here, so they don't seem to be like limiting their children's education. At least like not as loud as they do about public school in the States. School fees. School fees vary, and many expats have the cost of schooling built into their total employee benefit package. I have a link down there, I'll put down there, with a pretty good list of school names, founding dates, fees, addresses, general ratings. again, I don't have children. This is not a part of our benefits package, but I think that's a really good thing, because from what I've heard, it can be really expensive. Like, because you're not talking about like free public school here. It's like, private school all the way. So I think it can be, I heard some figures the other day ago. I'm not going to repeat them because they're not right in my head. Whatever it was made my brain just kind of go and like I couldn't think about it anymore. And then there was also the whole transferring the cost from reals to dollars, and then my brain just broke, but it sounded like a whole lot. But I guess that's good. I mean, I guess if it was suspiciously cheap, maybe they wouldn't be getting a good education. I don't know. Oh yeah, higher education is also fairly widely available here, with 12 international, largely US based colleges and universities with branches in Doha. These universities offer everything from associates to baccalaureate, master's, and doctorate programs. Why did I not put the list? Oh man, I forgot to copy the list down. There's things like Texas A&M's here, I think Northwestern's here. One of the big medical schools, it's like either Johns Hopkins or Carnegie Mellon, or I don't know, something is here. Just as strange, like, to me, like what? Where did you get these colleges? But it's super cool. I mean, you could totally, I think Columbia is here too. So like, I guess you could totally be, in New York or whatever, and then come here and finish your school. Cool. Yeah. I was gonna say, because I was trying to look for information, that there are no public school buses, but then I was driving out, I was out with hubby in the middle of nowhere, and there were buses. So I don't know what the deal is with buses. I don't ever see them in town. This was like kind of on the outskirts of town. I guess there might be some sort of limited bus service. I always hear about people on Facebook like yelling about how they need drivers for pickup drop-off, or my friends that do that themselves complaining about how freaking long it takes to find parking for the little kids, or just standing on the, sitting there on the side of the road for other parents. And then I've run into myself accidentally leaving one of the malls downtown, and the Uber driver taking us past a school, and it was like ridiculous. There's like children standing in the middle of the road, like not moving, and there's like somebody drove over the sidewalk to go. It was just pandemonium. Someone backed up in the middle of the road in like basically a parking lot looking situation. You've got like it's supposed to be a 2-lane road, so you had like the lane that isn't moving, and then these people that are turning that aren't moving, and then a whole other like fake lane of people that aren't moving, and then children milling in the middle, and then someone somehow like, I don't know, it was crazy. It was bananas. That's what it was. It was, I don't want to leave at 1:30 in the afternoon on a weekday from anywhere in West Bay. That's what that was. Yeah, so that's a little bit about schools here. If you're interested about learning further, check out the links that I'm posting below. They're pretty good. There's some really super interesting, especially like the university page I thought was super cool, and I thought the link, ooh, jeebus. Oh, dog just farted. Wet my mouth. You're gross. You're terrible. The link with the list, it has the ratings. I don't know what the ratings are based on, but some of them were like good, some of them were bad. It's just super interesting to see. Yeah, it's just fascinating stuff. I'm not super well versed in public schools in general, and that wasn't really highly available in the area I grew up in until after I was out of school. So yeah, if you have any more questions, let me know. What? Stop it, Vodafone. Seriously, I get so many text messages from my freaking phone provider. It is unbelievable. It annoys me to no end. Because what if it's a good text message? Not like anybody ever texts me. But, frustrating. Especially when I'm trying to, like, you know, keep it together, to, like, talk to you guys. Anyways, so totally babbling at this point. I will say goodbye for this week. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend, and I hope your week was good. I should see you on Tuesday for a travel video. Let's see if that happens. I don't know if it'll be anything interesting to show. The flight's only like an hour, but maybe it will be. I don't know. I'll see you guys later. I love you. I hope your weekend is good. Bye.